Type a phrase like best golf clubs into a search bar, and the result set stretches on almost to the horizon. You're presented with an enormous grid of identical-looking pages, all claiming to be the definitive answer. In the early days of the web, sorting this list relied entirely on text. If a machine saw the words best golf clubs repeated hundreds of times on a single page, it assumed that page was the most relevant result. Spammers exploited this immediately, filling pages with invisible keywords to force their way to the top. The problem is that a search algorithm is a blind machine. It can count words, but it lacks the human capacity to pull a specific volume from a shelf and judge its depth, accuracy, or nuance. It has no native way to tell a peer-reviewed guide apart from a page of gibberish. For search engines, sorting results based only on what a page said about itself was no longer viable. To rank content effectively, they needed a signal of quality that originated from the outside, a metric that was external to the page and verifiable by a machine. Search engineers look toward the way people naturally interact with the web. While a machine cannot inherently judge a paragraph, the humans building and browsing the web distinguish quality every time they choose which sources to reference. This shifted the focus to the hyperlink. Beyond its role as a navigational tool, a link functions as a digital footprint of human trust. By linking to another site, a creator is essentially staking their own reputation on the quality of that destination. The 1998 PageRank breakthrough captured this behavior mathematically. It treated every hyperlink on the internet as a literal vote of confidence. If page A links to page B, the system registers a vote for page B. By tracking these billions of digital connections, search engines turned the underlying structure of the internet into the world's largest peer review system. A simple majority rules voting system is easy to cheat. If every link counted as one equal vote, a spammer could generate millions of automated websites, link them all to their own page, and dominate the rankings through sheer volume. To prevent this, the algorithm weighs votes based on credibility. Links from established institutions carry massive authority, acting like a currency. When a trusted site links out, it passes algorithmic power downstream. The receiving page absorbs it, then passes it further down the chain. This means ranking isn't determined by the quantity of links a page receives, but by the combined mathematical weight of the authority behind those links. Authority alone isn't enough to move the needle. A high-power link only transfers its full value if the two pages are topically related. Imagine you're planning a trip to Greece. A recommendation from a local who has lived in Athens for decades carries massive weight. But that same person's opinion on high-end electronics is likely ignored because they aren't an authority in that specific space. A search crawler verifies this context by looking strictly at the raw HTML anatomy of the hyperlink. It ignores the visual design seen by a human and parses the specific tags that define where the link is going. Within that code is the anchor text, the actual clickable words. If those words say best golf balls, the algorithm uses that specific phrase to identify exactly what the destination page is about and how it should be categorized. Developers can also add attributes like nofollow to the code. This acts as an explicit rule, telling the crawler that while the link exists for the user, the site owner does not want to pass any algorithmic trust or authority through that connection. The algorithm evaluates not just who is pointing toward your site, but the technical intent behind the link they've connected to you. A backlink is more than a line of code. It is the invisible infrastructure of credibility that determines which ideas surface and which disappear. This creates a harsh reality for creators. You can publish the most accurate, beautifully designed content in the world, but if it exists in a vacuum with no other authorities referencing it, search algorithms will effectively treat it as non-existent. Building this authority requires participating in a relational economy. To earn high-value links, website owners must engage with their industry, provide unique data, and build relationships that lead to a genuine exchange of value. While search rankings are calculated by mathematical formulas, the data feeding those formulas is driven by real-world human interactions and the recognition of expertise. Think back to that initial search query. The page of results you see isn't just a list. It is the outcome of a massive, silent election happening in the background of the web. The number one spot is awarded to the page that has earned the most relevant, authoritative digital votes from across the internet. To master the mechanics of the search engine algorithm, one must first master the art of earning human trust.